Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Hope you had a good weekend. A pretty good weekend of football. There were some good games, and there were some games that were kind of boring. I watched a few of them after the Jet game was over. But anyway, let's talk about the Jets' loss yesterday to the Pittsburgh Steelers, 34-32. It was a heartbreaking loss. I mean, this one was really, really tough. At one point, I thought that we had this game. The Jets had this game to beat Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers opening day, MetLife Stadium. That would have been great. But first, the thing I want to talk about is real quick is the post game interview with Aaron Rodgers. You know, as everybody knows who watches my videos, I never really liked the guy anyway. I didn't really like him coming to the Jets, but it was Aaron Rodgers, and he gave us a little bit of hope, a little bit of prayer for something good to happen to this team. And yesterday in his press conference, I just didn't like the way that they asked him something along the lines of how did it feel to beat the Jets or win the game or whatever. And of course, he says, I'm glad I got to beat everybody affiliated or associated with the Jets. I'm just paraphrasing now, but you could watch it yourself. It's something along those lines. I'm happy to beat everybody who's associated with the Jets, and there's a lot of people out there that didn't think I could play anymore. So it was good. It felt good to show them I could play. Okay, you beat the Jets. Congratulations, big deal for you. But I do want to say this, that there's a lot of people in the Jets, and when you say everybody associated with the Jets, I assume you're talking about the fans, you're talking about the whole organization, you're talking about everybody. So let me correct something here by saying that although I didn't like the guy on the team at all, a lot of people did. And a lot of fans didn't want Aaron Rodgers to be let go. And there was, I'm sure, people in the organization that didn't want to let Aaron Rodgers go. But you got to remember one thing here is that this was going to be a new coach, new coaching staff, a new regime. They didn't want to roll things back that happened last year. And remember something, you only produced 5 wins last year. 5 wins. That's all you did. You didn't take them to the playoffs and then they got rid of you. You didn't win the Super Bowl and they got rid of you. You produced 5 wins. For Christ's sake, Zach Wilson produced 5 wins. So for him to go on there with all that arrogant smugness that he has all the time when he speaks and act like I'm glad I beat everybody associated with it, dude, you didn't produce shit when you were a Jet. You won 5 games. And the Jets did everything for you. They bent over backwards for you. They flew out to California to get you to come to the team. They gave you every player you wanted, all your buddies on the team, the coaches you wanted. And what did you do? You produced 5 wins. That's all you did, man. So you can understand by the Jets' new coach, Aaron Glenn, and the new coordinators and new coaching staff wanting to turn the page. You didn't do shit with the team. So if you want to pat yourself on the back, you beat the Jets, who, by the way, have one of the worst secondaries in football. But anyway, you won the game. Congratulations. I would expect him, no, that's not true. He's a smug guy anyways, but at least be a little bit more like, I'm glad I won the game. It's good to come back to MetLife Stadium. I love the fans. But all this, I'm glad to beat everybody associated with the Jets. It's just a jerk-off thing to say, but I kind of would expect that from him anyway. So just remember the fact that you won 5 games with the Jets. They gave you everything you wanted. They gave you a contract that you really didn't deserve, in my opinion. They gave you all the players, all your buddies, all your pals, and you produced 5 wins. So just be quiet, man, and try to be humble one day in your life. But anyway, let's go back to the game. I just wanted to get that out. Let's go back to the game. The Jets lost 34-32. So I want to go over each side of the ball first. Let's go over the offense. I have to admit one thing here is that I was so far game 1, only first game, but though I didn't have much faith in Justin Fields, but as he played, he looked pretty good. I got to admit, he looked pretty good. His passing was very good. He run the ball just like Justin Fields runs the ball when he needed to. And he looked good, man. So I take back some of the things I was a little bit reluctant about him with. I want to see how the season moves forward. But I will say this, that I was wrong about the guy. He looked pretty good. He looked in command of the offense. He looked confident out there. And he actually looked very, very good. Breece Hall was just a beast yesterday. He looked like the Breece Hall from his rookie year. He was just running all over the Steeler defense. He was putting up numbers, getting passes out of the backfield, and every time he run the ball, you were just waiting for him to break one. He just was awesome. The offensive line once again was very good. Fields, a couple times he had to scramble out of there, but all in all, they did some good run blocking, some good pass blocking, and I was afraid that was going to be an issue with AVT going out for the season, but they seem to have they seem to have worked around it, and it didn't look that bad. The receiving core, Garrett Wilson just doing Garrett Wilson things. He did get hit and drop that ball on fourth down, which the Jets were trying to drive to get a last second field goal, maybe win the game or something. But I can't fault him for that. Jalen Ramsey, who by the way is another jerk, but he plays a hell of a good football game, and he just blasted him. And I can't really blame him for dropping that ball. He got hit pretty good. So good play on Ramsey for that. As much as you don't like the guy, or if you do, that was a hell of a play. He jerked that ball loose, and that was the game. So you can't blame Garrett for that. So the offense, really 32 points. The Jets, I can't remember the last time they scored 32 points in a game. Probably been a long time. I don't even want to look to see because it probably embarrassed me. So good offensive show. I hope they continue that because they're going to have to. After watching the Bills play last night, they're once again, they're no joke. They're going to win the division anyway. But if you're going to keep up with the Joneses, you're going to have to keep scoring points like that, or else you're just not going to win too many games. Now on the defense, the defensive line was really standout. Quinnen Williams, well, he's just a monster. It's good to see Jermaine Johnson back making plays. He's another guy that's just going to be a force out there. Will McDonald had 2 sacks on Rodgers. I think they sacked Rodgers 4 or 5 times. So I don't know what he's bragging about. But anyway, the Jets, they shut down the Steelers' running game, if they even have one. The problem the Jets have is their secondary. It is terrible. They suck. With the exception of Sauce Gardner, he can't do everything back there. They're just not good. This is going to be the problem that the team has, I see, going forward. Tony Adams, I thought he was going to get cut on the team. Some other guy named Cisco or Frisco, he was just running around in circles. I don't understand what they're doing back there, but this is going to be a big problem to the Jets. When you play teams in the AFC that are just passing teams, Bills, Chargers, Chiefs, this is a pass league, especially the AFC, and you can't stop the pass. You're going to have a tough time moving forward. So I hope they make some moves there, changing that, because that was really the fault of the team. There was the secondary, and Xavier Gipson fumbles a kickoff after the Steelers just scored. Gipson fumbles a kickoff, gives it right back to them, and 2 plays later they scored. That's a 14-point swing. That was brutal. I don't even know why Gibson's on the team anyways. That was just a brutal thing. It changed the whole complex of the game. I know the Jets came back and marched down the field and got another touchdown, but it still put them in a terrible. At that point, I think they were up by maybe 11 points or something like that. If he doesn't fumble that ball, maybe the Jets move back down the field, score again. They seem to have no problem moving the ball on the Steeler defense. That changed the whole game, in my opinion. It really did, because now the Steelers got a 14-point swing. They took the lead. Now the Jets are in that comeback mode. They marched down. They did score another touchdown, but now the ball's back in Rodgers' hands. All he's got to do now is get a field goal, win the game. That fumble was just brutal. That fumble was just heartbreaking. And Quinnen Williams or Quincy Williams, I think he hits a guy way out of bounds. A 15-yard penalty. Keeps a drive, keeps the ball moving forward. These are just stupid penalties that are going to cost this team. And this is the shit that has to get cleaned up. Or else we're going to see another season where they just don't win. They just tease you, and then they come up short because of some stupid play, some stupid mistake. And that's what happened, in my opinion, yesterday, because they really had that game. But you can't sit here and say, oh, we should have won, we could have won, because at the end of the day, there is no consolation prize for losing. You lost. You are 0-1, you lost. Whether it's a game you should have won or could have won or any of that other crap, you still lost the game. An L is an L, period. You played good. Yeah, the offense, looked good. But at the end of the day, what happened? You still lost. Imagine a scenario where the team loses 14 games out of 17 games. But yeah, boy, we were in every one of them. So what? You lost 14 games. You can't keep on making it okay to lose because we tried, we did good, we almost did it. That shit don't fly. You lost the game. At the end of the day, that's an L. period. Now you got to go up against a division foe who's won the division every year since the Patriots, Tom Brady left. So they're not going to lose a division to you, but you have to play competitively. So hopefully the Jets can play competitively. But if you watch any of the Bills game last night, their defense doesn't look that good either, but they were playing against Lamar Jackson. He's a tad bit better than Justin Fields and the Jets offense is. So another tough game, but you got to look at it this way. Starting the season 0-2, the Bills are 2-0. You already know you're not going to win the division anyway, but this takes away any hope or any chance you may think that maybe we can compete for it or something, because now you're 2 games behind. You've already lost a division game. If you want my opinion, the Bills game Sunday is this part of an early season is almost a half win. You have to win this game, or else you're just going to start to fall back, and then you'll start to see the players go, "Oh fuck, here we go again." And then you got Tampa Bay Bucks the next week after that, 0-3 maybe. I don't know who the Dolphins. I think I have to look at the schedule or next, but they really looked pathetic yesterday. So, but who knows? So you really can't start out losing like this. This loss was really just tough to bear. But it's, as a Jet fan, you almost kind of just, you're sitting there, and I tell you this as the truth. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for them to blow this game. I'm sitting there thinking, we got this one. I'm waiting there, waiting for them to blow this game. I just had a feeling they were going to blow this game. I was on the phone with one of my friends, and he said, "Well, the Jets look good, man." I said, "Yeah, but you know what? I just got this. You're a Jet fan. You know they're going to somehow fuck this up, and they did somehow fuck this up and lose." So, but anyway, the offense looked really good. I hope they continue to look this well. I was a little bit wrong about Justin Fields on his first game. I admit it. I'm not afraid to admit it. I hope he continues it, and I hope this loss doesn't really bury the mindset of the team, because they really did play well. The Jets absolutely have to shore up that defensive backfield, or else they're just going to get passed on all year, and this is how they're going to get beat by teams that just focus on throwing the ball. And in the AFC, there's a lot of them, and the NFC as well. So that's pretty much all I got to say about the game. Tough loss, just a really, really tough loss to swallow here. But we'll see what happens next week. During the week, I'm going to be talking about other stuff going on. And toward the end of the week, when it gets close to the Bills game, we'll check out injury reports and see what the over under and the line is, and who's going to be favored, which the Bills will be. I want to see how much by, and we'll see what happens, and I'll make a prediction for Sunday's game against the Bills. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a great day, and I'll be talking to y'all very soon. Bye now.